Thinking about upgrading your setup with CDJ 2000s, but stuck wondering if the Nexus 2 really is that much better than the Nexus 1? Or maybe you're scrolling eBay wondering if that too good to be true deal is actually real. Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about the CDJ 2000 Nexus 1 versus the CDJ 2000 Nexus 2. We'll talk about the key differences, what they still have in common, what kind of DJ you need to be to actually feel the upgrade, and of course, which one you should buy depending on your budget, workflow, and the kind of gigs you play. I'm Veldema, and let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. I've got in front of me two CDJ 2000 Nexus 1 and two Nexus 2, all plugged into a DJM 900 Nexus 1 mixer. The two Nexus 1 are inside, and the other two Nexus 2 are outside the setup. So we're in the perfect playground to test everything side by side. The main thing to know is that both players are absolute workhorses. You've got USB compatibility, link mode, loops, hot cues, bit grid sync, and an LCD screen to supervise everything. So if you want to feel like you're DJing in a professional club or festival, both will do the job. A lot of the buttons and controls are at the same place. Let's start from the bottom left and we'll make our way up from there. The play pause, cue, beat search, and track search functions are still here, and you can still load SD card and USB sticks. Time controls, so the tempo fader, reset, master tempo, and beat syncs did not move one bit. And the jog mode, vinyl speed adjust, and disc eject did not age a bit. You also have the jog adjust knob and cue/loop call, delete, and memory buttons at the same place. Now, the differences. The first thing to know is that the Nexus 2 supports more audio file format like FLAC, and the first thing to look for is the grey jog wheel of the Nexus 1. Next, we've got a new sleep rev option that can boost your creativity during long drum roll sections and transitions. The loop controls are also a tiny bit different. Instead of just having to press the loop in adjust to make a 4-bit loop, there is a new 4/8-bit button replacing the loop mode. It's just a bit easier to use. Finally, the two big elephants in the room, the screen and the hot cues. The screen is bigger on the Nexus 2, with the capability to display full RGB waveforms. It's also touch sensitive, meaning that a new search function has been added with the keyboard to make rapid track search a breeze, as well as beat jump functions and loop controls for simpler selection. Track navigation got easier too, with the button to tag, filter, and go back directly in fingers reach from the selector knob. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Hot cues! Yes, my friend, you are not in a dream. You can go from 3 hot cues to 2 banks of 4 hot cues, so 8 total, by just upgrading to the Nexus 2. And also the Nexus 2 is just a tiny bit heavier and bigger, but whatever. Honestly, for most casual gigs or even semi-pros, the CDJ 2000 Nexus 1 still holds up really well. But the Nexus 2, that's where things start to get spicy. I've already talked about the differences, but here are the main modifications if you consider buying one instead of the other. First is 2 banks of 4 hot cues, so 8 total instead of just 3 single hot cues. It's a total game changer if you're into performance mixings, like to do quick cuts or even open format. The improved sound card and digital output at 96 kHz allows more clarity, especially when paired with a good mixer, which could be noticeable if you're playing in really big venues or on really high-end systems. You've also got 4-bit loops buttons. It's easier, simpler, and just plainly better. Now for the touchscreen. Full RGB waveform browsing, so you can swipe through tracks like it's 2016, not 2012. You've got bit jump, an easier search function, and just faster workflow overall. If you're someone who likes playing fast, remixing live, or if you use the touchscreen a lot, the Nexus 2 will feel like butter. And do you also know what feels like butter? Subscribing to this channel, that's right! If you're liking this video so far, smash that like button, leave a comment below and get subscribed. It really helps my projects grow. There have been a lot of new people joining the channel recently, so thank you if you're already part of the crew and welcome if you're new. Now let's talk about real-world prices. Right now in 2025, a good condition Nexus 2 will run you about $2,200 Canadian per unit, often more depending on the condition and if it comes with the original box or with accessories like a case or a deck saver. Found a deal? Possible, but they're rare. These units are still in super high demand because they are the last full-size players before the jump to the CDJ 3000s. And clubs, a lot of clubs, still run them a lot. Now, the Nexus one is much easier to find. You're looking at $1,500 to $1,800 Canadian, sometimes even less on platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace or Reverb. They're older, but they still hold up really well, and you'll see a lot more listing for those. But here is the catch. I always praise buying used like these ones instead of buying new. Less waste, more choice and better prices most of the time. But if you're buying second-hand, watch out. Scammers are out there selling single or full setups for suspiciously low prices. Sometimes with fake bidders, bidding systems that never finalize, or PayPal links that are not legit. Here is a quick checklist to avoid getting scammed. First, the seller should have reviews, ideally both buying and selling items. Second, look for a profile picture, some history, not a zero feedback ghost account that was created just a few days or months ago. 3. Ask for more pictures and even videos. Scammers will tell you they don't have the product or that it's in the box and they really don't want to open it, which I could understand. But a clean cut with a knife, a quick pictures and a bit of clear tape to seal it back won't hurt the price a single bit. Finally, always, and I say always, go through eBay checkout or a legit platform with buyer protection. If someone asks you to move the transaction off-site, run, don't stop, and don't look behind. They could be right beside you. I'm currently selling those two CDJ 2000 Nexus, but I've already found someone to buy them. However, in the future, I'd love to make giveaways. But I'm already losing a lot of money making those videos, so that we'll have to wait and get subscribed. So, which player is right for you? If you're just starting out, building your home setup, or doing small gigs where showing up with your own decks is already quite impressive, the Nexus One is more than enough. It's reliable, affordable, and still club standard. You won't feel like you're missing much unless you're used to newer workflows. If you're mixing fast into live remixing or playing big shows, the Nexus 2 starts to shine. The upgraded workflow, the hot cues, the audio quality, the touchscreen. It really speeds you up and feels modern even now, almost 10 years later. Ouch. It just simply comes down to this. Both are pro tools. One is more tailored to high-speed, high-performance mixing, so just pick based on how you mix, not just what the internet says is better, and almost certainly what you are willing to spend. I hope this helped you clear up the confusion between the CDJ 2000 Nexus and the Nexus 2, and maybe even saved you from a sketchy eBay deal. I know it's a big investment, whether it's for your career, your hobby, or your dream studio. So I wanted to give you the full pictures from someone who actually used both. And no, to be clear, I've never used all four at the same time. They're not even all connected. So keep that between us. If you got any questions or if you found a crazy eBay listing you want me to check, drop it in the comment and I'll give you my honest take, no BS guaranteed. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, get subscribed if you haven't already. I'm Veldema, and remember, be creative, be inventive, and keep mixing. See ya!